Brandon Storm, you're one to talk about disrespect after what you've done to me. But before we get to that, let us travel back through time, shall we? A year and a half ago, after losing my exhibition championship, I found myself lost in a dense forest of my career. With no clue as to how I would crawl out from those woods, I was presented with a golden opportunity. You, Brandon, along with L.A. Brown, extended an offer to me, and I took it. You both scraped me off the ground, and from there, I became a member of the best faction this company will ever know, Mayhem. And that was the beginning of the Shadow War. See, the fact that you wanted to bring up being in my shadow, Brandon, it is very ironic to me. It seems that you have forgotten who was in yours to begin with. It was I, and at first, I didn't mind. Being under you, I learned a lot. Hell, I even admired you. But I was a fool. I was a fool to think that at the time, I could ever be anything more than what I was by only sitting back and watching you. Being your underling. I was just too damn foolish, too damn humbled to be a part of the big leagues. So, I took action. After realizing that if I didn't somehow carve my own path within Mayhem, I'd continue to waste away in the shadows. In your shadow, Brandon. So I worked my ass off and became the most prestigious intercontinental champion in this business. Throughout my reign, I put that title on the map, even more so than what you did with yours when you were MPW champion. Everyone wanted my title. I had competitors crawling at my boots for it. Even the owner of the company held my prestige higher above yours. And it's a shame. It really is, because you had the MPW championship. That title is the face of the company's championship line. It is the brand that we work for. And all you did was sit around and collect dust. Is that where the resentment towards me began? Is that why you weren't really around in those times? I get it. You'll finally realize that someone with the potential to outshine you came along, didn't they? Hell, and I wasn't even trying. I was focused on myself, building my career. In fact, if anything, I wanted to be seen alongside you, because at the time, I consider you my brother, like family. I could no longer stand being seen beneath you. I'll admit, I was jealous. So for 6 months, for 6 long months, I tried my best to make it that I was truly seen or cut above the rest. And that was only the beginning. Eventually, I lost that championship. But instead of falling into obscurity, I was still one of the most relevant figures here in this business. And looking back, I wonder if your resentment led to the chaos that came next. You've turned on all of us. Your own brothers in arms, especially L.A. Brown, which led to what I personally believe, the disbanding of Mayhem. I suppose he grew too far from your shadow too, like I did. Around those pivotal times, my respect and my trust in you, it dissipated. I saw clearly what you were all about then, and I found a way to separate myself from you altogether for a while. I crafted my own path, lost all sight of you in the business, and after some personal trials and tribulations, I ended up taking some well-deserved time off. It was during those times that I watched you wreak havoc, absolute terror, on MPW. Because without me there, all eyes were on you yet again. You burned people in your own spotlight. But for whatever reason, somewhere deep down inside, I knew something was off with you. Not just physically, but mentally. And I still had this soft spot for you, so I thought that maybe I could come back and bring with me the brother I used to know. So, when I first returned, it was as a brother. I knew you needed some real mental help. So I confronted you. And you agreed. But being as you are, well, as you were, you wanted to fight for it. See, no one knows about the underlining pact we made when we had that career versus MPW championship match. It wasn't never really my career at stake, but it was yours. And in the eyes of the MPW universe, if I won, I became MPW champion. If I lost, my career was over. Behind the scenes, though, our agreement was if I defeated you, you would go and seek some help for your personal demons that plagued your mind. That title match was to bring back who I thought was my brother. To bring back the Brandon Storm people used to enjoy watching. But again, I was just too damn foolish. Too damn kind. On May 13th, 2019, I won that match. And you vanished from MPW and all of society as we know it. For a while, at least. No one even knew you existed. And I thought maybe he actually went and took my advice. So I carried on. Again. Reigned as MPW champion this time. But you didn't make that easy, did you, Brandon? No. You had to go and kidnap my wife. At first, I was unaware who took her. Each and every day, my family and I suffered. The police investigations, the interrogations, the stress ate at me. It ate away at me. Like... I grew ill, physically and mentally. And after nearly 2 months, you came back into my life as the one responsible for it all. People wonder why insurgents died. This is why. I couldn't bring myself to aid you in your own conquest after you psychologically tortured my wife for 2 months and brainwashed her. She didn't even recognize our children. She sure as hell didn't even recognize me. Do you know how long it took to undo what you did? How much therapy it took to get her to remember? The financial cost of it all? The sheer heartache of gazing at my wife when she didn't even recognize me. She looked at me like I was a stranger. She still to this day has trouble recalling precious moments of our past together. Family memories lost forever. You cut a wound in us all so deeply, it can never be healed. And now you want to claim that everyone is disrespecting you? That I am disrespecting you? Being favored above you? It gets cold being in my shadow, doesn't it, Brandon? A small price to pay for all the things you've done to me and my family. But look, Brandon. Look at those very things. Those heinous atrocities against me and my family and beyond. Because if kidnapping my wife wasn't good enough for you, you tried to end my career. I'm sure everyone remembers that MPW championship match when you came back. Mad as ever. All I wanted was my wife back. And you tried to end my career. You took shit way, way too far. Way too personal. Over what? Some fame and fortune in the business? And to think I cared about you. To think that I cared about your well-being. You want to know why my shadow now cast over you? It isn't just because I am better in the ring. And it sure as hell isn't just because I'm a better warrior. It has nothing to do with my title collection over all these years. No. It is because I'm all around a better person than you can ever be. I go out here and I give these fans what they want to see. I help pioneer this business, Brandon. Help mold the younger talent and aid those in need of advice. I am selfless. I am a leader. But you, Brandon, you are the complete opposite. All you care about is yourself. Being the highest paid in the company. All your past championship reigns. All eyes on you. and no one else. Burn in my light, you say. And now, most recently, you wanna cry about not being able to retire me? You wanna complain about everyone else wanting to retire me, but no one wanting to retire you? I got the answer to that. You see, when people beat me, when they beat the Viking King, it propels their career. It gives back to them. Another selfless act of mine, you can call it. But when people beat you, especially nowadays, it's just another number. Another tally. It means nothing. You seek to damage my retirement because you know you couldn't revitalize your reputation by defeating a jobber like Jeffsus. Here you are again, starving to be in the spotlight when no one is watching you. I am not here to make it seem like I've been perfect during my career, cause we all know that I haven't. In fact, for the very last time, I'm going to stoop down to your level, Brandon Storm. I am going to be selfish one last time and leave my family behind that want me home so badly. At Fortune, it will be your most unfortunate day in your life, Brandon, because I am going to take it. I'm going to end it for all the trauma you have put us through. And next week here on Arise, all of the 9 worlds will witness as you enter that ring and you meet me face to face to accept the challenge. You want to go around and call yourself the devil? Then I will be the god who smites you. Skull!